This video will cover how to set up user groups in SnapPlus version 3. User groups are a way to organize multiple SnapPlus version 3 users who might either work together on writing nutrient management plans or work together on reviewing nutrient management plans. To start, you can find user group information by going to the gear menu in the upper right-hand corner and selecting User Groups. I have several example user groups already made for my account, but let's start by creating a new one. You can click Create a New User Group by clicking New Group and giving your group a name. To begin, you will see yourself as the only member of the group. The person who creates the group is by default assigned the group admin role. This role can be transferred to another user who has been added to the group. Next, let's add some users to our group. We'll click Add Member and type in their email. After typing in their email, you have the option to select their role. Because I'm the group admin, I have the ability to add users with the manager role, the member role, or I can reassign the group admin role to another user. There can only be one group admin per user group. In this example, I will select manager as the role. A manager has the ability to add group members, but can't add other managers. In addition, both group admins and managers can accept invitations on behalf of the user group. Let's add one more member. Notice in the status column that the two members I added to my group both say pending. This information will update to accepted once they have accepted the invitation to join the user group. If at any point I need to remove a user from the group, I can do that by clicking on the trash can button. Again, as group administrator, I can remove any other users from the group, whether they're managers or members. However, if you're a manager level, you can only remove members, and members can't remove any other people from the group. This is the hierarchy of group roles within group permissions. As an example, let's remove Dan from the user group. When Dan is removed from the user group, that means that his name no longer appears here, and he would no longer have access to any shared farms or plans shared for review that had been shared with this user group. This is a good option to remember if you're working on a team and somebody takes a different job or happens to retire and doesn't need the data access that they needed before with SnapPlus version 3. Next, let's talk about what these two different tabs mean. When you're looking at a user group, you can see information about shared farms and plans shared for review. If we look at the County NMP group, we can see that there are farms in both of these lists. Shared farms are farms that have been shared with the user group on the Farm Permission tab. You can see information about the level of permission that has been shared with the user group here in the table below. We can see the farm name, the name of the primary administrator for the farm, their email, and then the farm owner-operator if it's been filled out. This table is searchable using the search bar, and you can also filter it using the filter options available in the gear menu. The second tab we see here are plans shared for review. This is where we can take a look at any plans that have been sent as a saved archive version to this user group. By design, plans that are shared for review are always read-only. That means that when your user group receives a plan shared for review, you can look at it and generate reports, but you're not able to make any edits or changes to the plan. If your goal is to edit the plan, make sure that it's shared with your group on the Farm Permissions tab as a shared farm. Now I'd like to show you what it looks like to accept an invitation to a user group. Invitations to user groups are displayed in SnapPlus version 3 in the upper right-hand corner as a notification. We can click on the Invitations button, which is an envelope, to see farm invitations and user group invitations. I have one example invitation here where I have been invited with the role of member by a group administrator with this email address. I can accept the invitation by clicking this button or decline it by clicking this button. Once I accept this invitation, I can go back to my user groups panel and see that the new group has been added to my list. If there are any farms or plans shared for review that have been added to this user group, I would see those down below. Next, let's go through an example of how to share a plan with a user group. If I select the plan that I'd like to share and go to the Farm Page and Farm Permissions tab, I see two sections. At the top in Farm Permissions is where I add individual users. At the bottom with User Groups is where I add user groups. There are three different ways that you can add a user group here. You can enter the email address of the group admin, you can enter the group name, or you can enter the group ID number. Let's start entering the group name and see what comes up. Notice that some groups are publicly available. I started typing County NMP and I see many different options for County NMP groups. This is where it's important to confirm with the group that you're working with exactly what the name, number, or email address of their group admin is to make sure that you're sharing with the correct group. In my example, I want to share with the County NMP group. I select this from the list and then select a permission level. Remember that the permissions level you select here applies to everybody in the user group. If you'd like the user group to be able to make edits to your plan, you would want to select a planner or an admin level permission. If you wish that the user group would only view the plan, that would be read-only, not be able to make any edits, you would choose one of these lower two options. Keep in mind that read-only users are still able to generate reports and export maps and map data. Once you've made your selections, click Invite Group to send the invitation. This sends an invitation to the group admin and to any managers of the user group. They will receive a notification of the invite in their Invitations tab with information about the name of the farm and the role that they received as part of this invitation. It can be accepted by a manager or group admin by clicking Accept. Finally, let's review how to share a review request with a user group. For this, I'll go to my Greene County Dairy CAFO example, and we'll go to the Archived Versions tab. Sharing a request for review always happens from the Archived Version tab because each review request is associated with a saved version of the plan, which is an archive. Here, I have my 2026 NMP update, and I would like to request review. I click on the Request Review button, and I see a very similar table to the one that we see on the Farm Permissions tab. In this case, I can start typing my user group here, find the correct group from the list, and then select the permission level. Note that the only two permission levels available are read-only type permission. I select my permission, and then I can select the review year as an aid to the group so that they know which plan or version I'm submitting. Once I have these details entered, I can click Send Request. In the table below, I have a reminder of the fact that I have sent a review request to the County NMP group, and I see the additional details about my request here. Notice that the invitation status says Pending. This will say pending until somebody from the County NMP user group, either a group admin or a manager, has accepted the invitation using the controls in this invitation section here. After it's been accepted, you will see the information in that table update from pending to accepted. This means that the invitation has been accepted and not that your nutrient management plan has been reviewed. Thanks for watching this video about setting up user groups in SnapPlus version 3.